What's going on, everybody? Welcome on into Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, a good old-fashioned mailbag where it's just me and you chopping it up about our favorite football team, the Minnesota Vikings. A lot of craziness has happened in the NFL world. The freaking Green Bay Packers traded for Micah Parsons, and that's going to be our first question. Does this Micah Parsons trade change your record prediction for the Vikings? So when I initially did it, Z-Cool, appreciate you. I had the Vikings going 11-6, I believe, and that also included, I think I had them sweeping the Packers again. I think the Vikings split with Green Bay now, and I think for people who are underreacting to this news, you're just being idiotic. The Packers got one of the best players in the National Football League. He's also going to be pissed off. He just got, Jerry Jones, just how he has handled this situation. I mean, he put a massive chip on Micah's shoulder. Like, he wanted to be a Cowboy. He wanted to be there, and he just let him go, walked out the door, traded him to Green Bay. So he's going to be a problem there. Now, I will say, I don't know if the Packers will be too good at defending the run this upcoming year. They did give up Kenny Clark in that move, which is huge for their run defense, but this is still a great move for Green Bay. And I'll tell you what, this NFC North division, it was one of the best of all time this past year. It's just going to continue to build on that. So I'll still stick 11-6, 10-7. That's where I've been at, this entire offseason. Lego fella, what's going on? Are the Vikings too timid to make blockbuster trades, or were our options unrealistic? I don't think the Vikings are timid to make a blockbuster deal. I mean, if you guys remember when Kwesi first took over as GM, we traded for TJ Hawkinson, which was a bombshell trade at the time during the trade deadline. So I don't think the Vikings are too timid, but also I wonder if they're a little gun shy from only having 4 picks heading into the draft this season, where I don't know if they would be willing to move off their draft capital because, yes, Kwesi crushes it during free agency, crushes it on the trade market, but he still can't draft, so I think he just wants to have a bunch of darts to throw because eventually, yes, I think the Vikings roster is great, but I don't think it's a sustain. I don't think you can maintain this level of roster without building through the draft. So maybe they're too timid. I just think it's more that our options were unrealistic. Like Tyreek Hill, how realistic was that? Probably not too realistic, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure all Vikings fans are thinking, why couldn't that be us trading for Micah or trading for some all-pro level player? But the Vikings, their biggest need is the cornerback position. There's really no blockbuster, trades out there. X is vibing, talking about the Micah Parsons trade. So, how scared are we, and why is it a lot? Listen, I'm not terrified of Green Bay. I will make that crystal clear. I still think the Vikings have a better roster. Excuse me. I still think their defense is better than the Packers. I think their offensive support system around the quarterback is better. I think their coaching staff is still better. But they close that gap. I mean, you add a guy like Micah, it's nothing to just bat your eyes at. This is a big-time move for him. You're adding a generational player entering the prime of his NFL career. Now, could the Packers, if this blows up in their face and you're like, oh, we just gave Micah Parsons $47 million, that's a hefty contract to live up to. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel better than I did before the Micah Parsons trade. I feel worse about this football team. So, I'm not scared a lot, but scared a little bit, X. So I appreciate you for tuning in. But Corey Miller saying, do you think we get a corner? I feel this trade might push us to be more ambitious. Yeah, definitely. It should push you to be more ambitious because you're looking around this division now. You're like, all right, the Bears loaded up this offseason. The Lions honestly had a sneaky good offseason. And now with the Packers pulling off this Micah Parsons trade, I wonder if the Vikings kind of look themselves in the mirror a little bit and say, yeah, we have a very, very good roster, a top-of-the-league roster. Maybe they think we get aggressive, go trade for a Deron Bland, a Trayvon Diggs, go try to get another corner. I mean, Jerry might be willing to give up Deron Bland for a 7th-round pick. Who knows? Might as well make the call, but I would anticipate this does make the Vikings a little more ambitious. Maybe not before the season, but if they start out hot and they're 5-0, watch out for that trade deadline area to maybe the Vikings, pick up the phone and start offering some first for all-pro caliber player. What's going on? Ray Villa, 95. Hashtag Vikings. Who's the weakest on our offensive line? Will Parsons target him? Any help from the RBs? Does McCarthy have razzle dazzle? McCarthy's got all the razzle dazzle. Come on, man. But our weakest point on our offensive line, probably have to go Donovan Jackson, just because he's a rookie, unproven commodity, but he is a first-round pick. I think he's going to be great. Will Parsons target him? I mean, he lines up all over the field. It's not like he's just going to be stuck at the edge position going against Darrisaw. Like, they'll put him in the interior. They'll put him all over the field. And any help from the RBs? Yeah, I mean, the RBs will help. I mean, in blitz pickup, you better be ready to go, especially if, Donovan Jackson gets beat, for example. But, yeah, I would probably say D-Jack, the weakest link on our offensive line right now. We'll see with Will Fries, but, they gave him a big contract for a reason, so I think it'll work out. But I think it's a great question to ask. The Packers get Micah Parsons. Do you think the Vikings can win the Super Bowl this year? Not are they contenders. Can you see year one of J.J. McCarthy confetti test? I love doing this. Close your eyes. It's February. Can you see J.J. McCarthy hoisting up that Lombardi trophy? You guys give me a Y for yes. Give me an N for no down below. Now we'll dive into more of your questions here in just a second, but today's mailbag is brought to you by Prize Picks. And the football season is just around the corner, but college football is here. So don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. And if you guys download the Prize Picks app today and use that promo code CLNS, you guys will get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Now, Prize Picks is simple to play. All you got to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks is also the best way to get action on sports in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. And Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Now, they also have a free square for you guys. Week 1, Cowboys taking on the Eagles without Micah Parsons. But one Dak Prescott passing yard. We get you guys one free win on Prize Picks, so make sure you guys include that in all of your lineups leading up to the event on Thursday night. And if you guys download the Prize Picks app today, plug in that promo code CLNS, hook you guys up with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. But massive shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Prize Picks, run your game. All right, let's dive into the rest of this mailbag here. As Ambry Thomas, as we're filming this, was just signed by the Philadelphia Eagles. So shout out to Ambry, getting his nod at the Eagles practice squad here, but still flabbergasted by this Micah Parsons move. But coming in, Tommy Wood saying, if we finish 8-9, but JJ showed huge potential, are you good? I don't think that scenario is possible. If JJ shows huge potential, like we're talking like top 5 quarterback, top 10 quarterback in the league type of potential, this football team is probably going to win 12 to 13 games. So now let's just say defensively, maybe the Vikings take a huge step back. There are some injuries and JJ pops and like the offense is dropping like 30 a game, but it's kind of like a Cincinnati Bengals feel. I guess maybe I would be good, but if the Vikings are 8-9 here, not feeling good. Like, my expectation for this team is to make the playoffs and to win a playoff game. And if they don't do that, yeah, when it's all said and done after this season, I will be a little disappointed. Now, obviously, we have to have the season play out. Why did the Vikings not make the playoffs? Why did they not win a playoff game? We'll see the answers to that when the season plays out, but yeah, I would not be good with this, even if JJ shows potential, because this team is just too good. Harvey Buxton, what's going on, man? Would you rather have Gink and Grenard or Parsons? That's a good question. I'd rather have Van Ginkel and Grenard. I mean, I think Grenard is a top 10-ish edge rusher in the league. Obviously, Micah's top 5-ish. So I don't really think the difference between Micah and Grenard is as extreme. And then you just kind of have Van Ginkel being the cherry on top there. So I would rather have 2 all-pro edge rushers rather than 1. But now, if you would ask me, would you rather have Gink and 2 first-round picks or Parsons? I'd probably say Micah Parsons. But yeah, I think that's an easy answer for me. Van Ginkel and Grenard. Brady then saying this Micah Parsons trade is like the Vikes trade 2 firsts for Pat Surtain. Yeah, pretty similar. Like a huge position in need. Packers need to get an edge, and you go trade for one of the best ones in the National Football League. Now, Denver would never do this deal because Denver is a better run organization than the Dallas Cowboys, and they value their players. They value their all-pro guys, so this would never happen. But yeah, I'm just still flabbergasted off this, guys. An unbelievable trade. Also, when we're filming this mailbag, this is right after the Micah Parsons trade. Literally happened when we were going live. But yeah, would I do 2 first and a player for Surtain? Probably. That would be a home run move. So that's my answer to that. It's Vikings fan saying Micah ain't built for the NFC North. Yeah, we'll find out. That's a good point. Are you ready for some NFC North football, Micah Parsons? Welcome to the division. I'm guessing he is. But, man, you got to be able to defend the run this year. The Lions coming into town. Vikings should be a better running offense. Obviously, Ben Johnson now in Chicago. They'll be running the football somewhat productively. So, yeah, it's a physical division. And I'll tell you what, man, week 1, what a moment. Welcome to the Packers fans. Green Bay squaring off with the Detroit Lions. Fox game of the week at 3:25. That's going to be an unreal game. Can't wait to watch that. But Micah wearing the Packers jersey makes me want to throw up a little bit. But hopefully he's not ready for the NFC North. But Vikings fan, I appreciate you. Cohen Banks coming in. What corner are we getting? I don't think we're getting a corner. If I had to call it, I don't think the Vikings address that cornerback room. I think it's just going to be a lot of 2-corner, 3-corner sets. Obviously the Vikings run that bandit defense. I think it was 97% of the time this past season, which 3 safeties on the field. So I'm assuming there would be a lot of, nickel for the Vikings with 3 safeties. So you only got 2 corners out there, and those would be Isaiah Rodgers and Byron Murphy. But in terms of making a move for a corner, again, maybe there's a guy I don't know about, but I only think the Vikes would pick up a corner if it's for a home run all-pro trade. That's the only way I think they pick one up. But also those guys aren't out there. That's the unfortunate part about where the Vikings are at in this roster is there are no corners that are available to trade, at least right now. But anything can change throughout the NFL season. Now, if you guys made it to the end of today's show, we appreciate you. Just give me a SKOL down below in the comments section. We'll see you guys next time. SKOL Vikes.